And welcome back to the Michael and Ellis show. Thought I started off just in the middle. Michael was like talking about Camilla and the cast age. But I was like, let's just I'll just keep them on their toes. Start it in the middle of that.
Sneaked attacked.
Bit of a hiatus. We haven't
for like the third time.
The second we had 2 weeks off. Michael was sick. I was sick.
No.
Pneumonia.
Michael.
So that put a damper
and you
on.
Survived. Look at that.
We survived, and I survived.
You're
because I'm a survivor.
But yes,
Beyonce should write a song about you.
We have a very special guest this week, Molly. Your first time appearing on the podcast. Welcome. Thank you for hopping on.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. And to be here.
We are so happy that you are here, especially because if you've been keeping track with who we've picked, Molly has sadly lost her last player. So we're very happy to have you on.
Molly had
Thank you.
You had Chrissy, Cedric, and Charity. You had the 3 C's. And they all kind of went home within. No, yeah, actually, like if you're episode wise, back to back.
Yeah, every episode, the past 3 episodes,
Damn.
just
it's been bad for me. Well, I made it this far. So,
true.
Yeah, it has been drama. I don't know. I feel like the middle of the season is interesting because it's where like I don't want to be shady, but like. You know, they keep around like some of the like lesser people and obviously the people that are better, but it's like you feel like you're keeping them around so that you know they're going to be like later. So I'm not going to say they're like middle performers, but
there's no small actor.
If you were playing,
there's no small actor, no small role,
no small part.
If you were on Survivor, would you be someone that would be trying to play the middle like Kyle and Camilla, or would you be more like of a Chrissy trying to like cut the head off the main alliance?
100% middle. This is why I went with Star for my final pick. That's a separate thing.
The winner pick? Okay.
Yes. But I think that the people who end up doing well are the people who are very quiet, not quiet enough to be quiet. You know what I mean? But pretty middle ground. You keep your stuff intact, you're doing your challenges, you get your idols, whatever, and they just wait until that final slip at the end and then they go for it, because the people that are strong in the beginning, I mean, they're walking targets. Like Chrissy is a walking target. She made this whole thing about like, I'm here to win, blah blah blah. Of course she's going to be taken out. Like, of course you're going to be taken out. It's about strategy.
That was so funny last week when she started talking about like, we're gonna have to take the person at the top off, like, eventually. I'm not saying right now. And then they get back to
we're like, girl.
No,
don't be showing all your cards like that. Don't do that.
They showed Joe and somebody else just like looking at each other like, what is this girl saying right now? Like, do we need to vote her out?
Yeah. Honestly, the reaction editing on Survivor needs its own Emmy category. I don't know. I just love it. I live for the reactions. It's like the little snake rattle in the side eye. You're like, yeah.
Someone says like something, everyone is just like. But oh my gosh, we have a lot to catch up on. So in the most recent episode, if you saw Ellis's amazing recap, which watch that, basically Chrissy went home in a 9-1 vote.
Yep.
So which just makes me think, like, I don't know. Okay, Ellis and I were kind of talking about this after we saw it, but I was like, anyone who could go home in a unanimous vote is not a threat. And I don't know how anyone could, like, I think the thing that has been happening time and time again this season is people are like looking for like quick fixes and quick targets and not thinking like long term. Like, Say could have been a great shield because she has no allies, no one likes her, and she's like really loud and can't keep a secret, and it's like really obvious whose side she's on. And like the same could go for Chrissy. Like Chrissy could not like I don't think Chrissy like understood that like you can't just tell everyone everything and hope that things work out. Like she just like totally went up to everyone and was like, guys, I know we haven't talked strategy at all, but let's just like jump on Joe, right? And everyone who's like really close with Joe is just like,
it's like,
no. Like, no, Chrissy, who are you?
To
Like, what's
Chrissy's
happening?
to Chrissy's credit, I feel like she was having the like Survivor fan like experience of like when you're watching, you're like, why aren't they talking about Joe? Like, why doesn't someone just... And Chrissy was that person just like,
True.
guys, why are we not like, this is right in front of our face. Why are we not doing this? And Chrissy actually said in preseason that what her hot take was that super fans ruined the show. But it turns out she was like the one person that's like,
she was correct.
what the hell are we doing? Like, yeah, so... After her like whole her game has come to an end, I'm a big fan of Chrissy. I think Michael, you have also come around. she went out swinging.
I was a Chrissy hater throughout this whole season, but the more and more I've been getting so annoyed with this fucking like macho man, like we're the buff boys, we should win. Like, oh my god, David going off about like, yeah, well, the meat shields are constantly like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, shut up, okay? Like, that's your prerogative to like, protect the
You're
meat shields.
done.
Like, literally, like, everyone plays the game differently, and I don't know. It felt like David was attacking Chrissy for trying to like stay in the game longer, which is the point. And I'm just like, that's not cool. Like, that's... Like, what is she supposed to be like, oh my god, David, you're right, we should let the strong people win. I'm gonna roll over now and, like, vote me out. Like, hello? Like, of course,
no,
like...
but I think that, like, so much of this, I don't think she did the wrong thing. I think she just, like, she was thinking all the right things. She just shouldn't have said them out loud. Because, like, of course she's going to be a target. But you know what I mean? Like, she can have beef with the alliances, whatever, like, come for it. But she also has to know that, like, she has to wait until they're weak enough to say that. She can't say that when they're at the height of whatever, because she's done, and she was. So
I think well, in her exit interview, the tribal, she went home. She knew she was going home. She's like, screw it. I'm letting it all out. Like, this is my last chance before I go on the jury where I have like I can give some input and like maybe wake some people up or something. But she also was like, yeah, I didn't even consider playing my shot in the dark. And it's just like, I don't understand. This is like the third player this season that was like, oh yeah, it didn't even cross my mind. I think it was Charity, it was Cedric, and it was Chrissy. Molly, what's going on here?
I'm a bad luck charm, apparently. I don't know. I don't really understand any of the idols or the shot in the dark, anything. It's all mind games. I don't get it. This game is hard. It's hard. Everyone's like, wasn't that what was happening last season? Like, everybody was just sitting on their idol, not using it. Their immunity idol.
Oh, that was like 2 seasons ago. Everyone decided to not use their idol.
I think it was like they just kept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was every episode. Anyone who found
in a row
idol
too.
was voted out with it.
Yeah, so I'm not totally surprised.
Yeah,
but not thrilled.
I feel like...
I mean, I'm interested to know what you guys like. One question I'm interested to see what you guys answer with is like, what if you were in Chrissy's position? Like, let's say you just get back to camp, right? And it's already like, who won immunity again?
Eva.
It was Eva, yeah. And Eva has immunity. Like, who would you pitch and why if you were like in Chrissy's position? And like, how do you think? Because she went home in a 9-1 vote. So I mean, she's clearly in a bad spot, probably.
Well,
right? When
she's on the. Yeah.
But like, who would you pitch and like who and why?
I think it's hard to the first thing I'd say is just the 9-1 vote, like that. It's, you can't really look at it like in hindsight, because that 9-1 vote, or it wasn't it was 8-1 because Star didn't have her vote.
Oh right, yeah.
But also
tragic.
Like, I think that majority alliance is so like you know, just in front of everyone's faces. Like they literally were all on the beach together, like deciding, do we go Chrissy or do we go Camilla? Like that could have been an 8-1 vote on Chrissy, or it could have been an 8-1 vote on
they were
Camilla.
gonna stack it either way.
And yeah, which is like, that's the perfect time to play your shot in the dark. I don't understand why these contestants are not like considering. That's the whole, the shot in the dark is made so that this kind of vote doesn't happen. Like they have to be like, well, we have to split the vote somehow to protect from the shot in the dark. But I think the last thing I'll say is I feel like Chrissy's mistakes kind of started since the Bianca vote. And her exit interview, she said it was a little tough because she was put on that tribe, and then we see this big majority alliance. They kind of all formed on these new tribes after the tribe swap. So she kind of like got back and was like, felt like she was kind of left in the dust. But
yeah. No, I agree. Sorry, I forgot what the question was.
No, I would have tried to pull like Camilla or like Mitch or do something. Like I know Mitch tried to start like a Siva thing again to like, but like, I mean, he literally went up to David and David was just like, like he didn't say like no straight up because that would be crazy, but it was clearly like, I'm not even really considering this. And I don't know. I always hate when there are players who think they're in such good positions that they don't have to even consider certain options. Like, I remember in like 45, I think it was, like Drew was like that too, and he annoyed me to no end. I just hate when there's like a majority alliance that feels so comfortable. I just want them to like fall apart so badly.
Molly, can you
remind me? I feel like.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, when did you start watching Survivor? Was it 46? Or, I mean, if you can even like remember, it's hard. The numbers kind of mesh together.
Yeah, it was sometimes. 46. It was LI.
Okay.
With you guys.
Okay, yeah. Right. Yes. God. Okay. Gotcha. So 45, Drew is a season before your time, but
yeah.
Drew is this tall, lengthy dude that went on Jeopardy after he was on the show, and he freaking killed it. I love Drew.
Random. That's cool.
I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
He's awful.
Yeah.
But
I stand by it.
Yeah, I think it's tough when you have this big alliance. You don't want to go against them and just be like pinpointed as like their main target, you know? I think the main thing that made this vote hard was that Camilla she targeted Star on that the ball thing to lose Star's
I know.
Vote. I mean, yeah, Molly, Camilla's coming after your winner pick. How does that make you feel?
I know. Okay. So that's that thing I was saying where I was like, I feel like Star is like, well, here's the deal. I'm not hopeful now. Sorry. But I mean, I am. I just like, I really believed in Star. I thought she was kind of laying low. Like, she's going to have this like great resurgence. She's going to get to the end and like figure out like, I've made it this far. I need to push it. But yeah, that like all game, that was not it. It was very smart. Like as I was watching it, I was like, damn, this is smart because they can pick, like it comes down to one or two people. But then to like a certain point it is chance. So it's just like, it's just messy. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not surprised Camilla did that really. What was it? Her and Mitch?
Mitch, and then Shaheen, but
shooting glances.
Right. Yeah, her and Camilla and Mitch
were like little secret strategy there.
It makes it seem like, I don't know, they were gonna do something with the vote because Camilla's like, Mitch needs his vote, and it's like, actually, apparently Mitch didn't even need his vote because it was unanimous anyway, so it didn't matter.
Apparently.
Right. I mean, and if Camilla's wanting to make a move, you go for Shaheen's vote because he's one of the five. You know, one of the strong five. You're not taking Star's vote away. Star would join you. She'd be a number.
One thing I thought was like kind of weird from that is I just like, I didn't know. It was like one or two little like glances that Camilla and Mitch had, and I was like, are they really like kind of conniving to like get this together, or is this just like an editing trick where they like looked at each other like, because at a certain point I'm like, how much can they really manipulate this? But I guess they did. I don't know. I just don't know how much it was like planned out, like you're saying, or if it was.
I mean, Camilla said in a confessional that like Camilla said in the confessional that she was like purposely looking at Mitch and they were like trying to communicate something.
Yeah.
Which, so, I don't know.
Like, why Star? That's why I don't get it.
Yeah, no, I feel like they just went with, again, I feel like a huge problem with this, like, cast has kind of been like, oh, we just need to, like, make sure that we're safe, and then that's, like, enough. And it's like, no, you need to, like, actually, like, can we, like, plan this out? Like, just one second.
Yeah, they're just acting, like, day to day, which I get it. Yeah. They're hungry, they're, like, hot in the sun, but...
Well, also in a game... You're playing a game where you're constantly trying to give this front that you're not playing the game. That you're like, oh, I'm not a strategist. Like, don't worry, I'm not a threat. Yeah. And then you still have to be like, wait, but like, who do you want to like vote out? Like, who do you, like it's so like when you're trying to hide everything, it makes it hard to like, if you're like, you don't want to make a big move and then that be the thing to be like, all right, they got to go home next or they got to go home right now,
Yeah, but again, I think Chrissy brought up a great point of like, if you're gonna play the game that way, you might as well just sit home. Like, why even go? Like, if you're just gonna be
That's
like,
a hot take.
Yeah, no, but I thought it was like a really great point because I'm like, all of these people are like sitting on their hands. Like, call back to like Stephanie, who was like, I'm gonna sit on my hands and see how it goes, and she went home first. And I feel like the fact that like. I don't know. I do like how this season they've kind of been like, I don't know. I feel like you can really look at it as though they're showing that sitting on your hands, like, can be like so detrimental. Like,
right. I mean, from episode 1,
you can overthink so much that you end up doing nothing.
Yeah.
That's what I think is so interesting about like the ending of the show is that it comes down to like who's playing the game best. So like it's not like you can just win some challenge or something, like, you know what I mean? So I think that's where that like really comes out and like who actually kind of deserves it. Yeah, I think that the big alliances like suck a little bit right now, but I think they get good in the future. I think there will be crazy drama coming up because what's gonna happen?
It's gonna have to explode at some point. And it's gonna be messy.
Yeah, the past couple of votes have been pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
yeah, I feel like there. I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but like the Bianca vote, Chrissy didn't seem to trust Say. I mean, the plan they always had was Bianca, but then they had it on Say, and then like. Cedric messed everything up, man. What the hell? Like, I feel like if they kept Bianca over Say, they would have been in a much better position the next episode, and who knows what would have happened after that. But yeah, they're voting out all their numbers to make a big move against this big alliance.
Yeah.
Like, I think we should just I think. Again, something Chrissy said a long time ago is she was like, which I don't know why I'm remembering all these Chrissy quotes. I swear to God, I wasn't a fan of her until literally last episode. But she was like,
can we like look behind me and there's a poster just like
yeah, is of Chrissy. I pray to her every night. She was literally like, Cedric doesn't realize that if he keeps sticking with Say, he's going home. And I think the fact that they went home literally in the same episode back to back is like so telling, because especially when Justin went home and Cedric was literally wrote Say's name down twice, and then it was just like Cedric, what are you doing? What is happening? What is going on? What is this game? And then he just like I don't know. It's kind of infuriating when, like, don't get me wrong, I love a good flop tribe. Like, Green is, all everyone except Mary is gone, and it's only like the final 9. And but like also I feel like we spent so much of the beginning season with this Green tribe, and it's like this Mary versus Say rivalry, and then it just kind of ends, and that was kind of like it was kind of lame to see. Like Say just goes home. Mary and Say weren't even on the same tribe when Say went home. It just kind of ended, and it was just kind of like.
Well, and Mary felt like she was constantly, she never kind of left the door open for Say to like, find some kind of footing once they reached the merge. It felt like she immediately just latched onto David and is like trying to get onto this like strong alliance. Like, not even Say honestly would have been like a perfect person to bring into that alliance. She's albeit like maybe her game moves don't really show it, but like she would always say, and I actually do kind of believe her, that she was trying to play a loyal game. It's just that she kept finding people, like she's kind of like almost Boston Rob, where it's like, if I see you do one thing that like ticks off my like sus meter, I'm going to like vote you out. She wants 100% loyalty, which you can't really expect.
Yeah, and especially also with how she was playing the game of being like very confrontational and like loud, I think was very off-putting to a lot of people, which made them not trust her as much.
This cast seems like a cast of overthinkers, like you said, like people that don't like confrontation, and then people that are like, oh, what move should I? Oh, I'll just do nothing. Like it's too risky. I need to wait till like later. We need to wait till later
until there's no fucking numbers, and now it's like what 6v3. Yeah, this is going well. Good job, team.
But God. I mean, Molly, you brought up like an interesting, just the idea of like when you get to the end, who is like decided by the jury of who has the best game. It's not necessarily like the challenges or whatever it is, and we kind of saw that come up at Tribal this episode when Camilla brings up like, we're at the point of this game where you have to be thinking about jury management in some format. Like this majority alliance, they're like just voting these people off one by one, and like those people are not gonna want to vote for like the head of that, like the Joe or the David, who is just, they're kind of like, whatever I say goes. Yeah, and then if Joe and David were to make it to the end, like they might struggle to find enough votes for them to win. Which I don't know if we want to get into our I guess I was gonna say winner predictions, but I realized we should also. I thought that was a perfect way to segue into who's going home, and I'm like, oh wait, no, that's the winner prediction.
Who won't win?
Who won't win? Who will win next week by going to Ponderosa?
Right? Honestly, dude, if I was gonna be on Survivor, I would want to like either be the first member on the jury, just so I could explore Ponderosa. Like they put you up in a luxury hotel, you just stay there.
Yeah.
All expenses paid.
All the food you could ever eat. It's like buffet every day. Yeah. Lazy River.
Oh my God. Mimosas on the Lazy River.
Just thinking about all the people that screwed you over. Chrissy's definitely like 3 daiquiris deep right now. She does not care.
I saw one tweet. I saw one tweet that was like, Say was like voting all these people out, and then she had to be on the like early airplane home to like another, like, because she didn't make jury, so like all of her decisions. I think Justin might have tweeted that, and then Say was like, at least I had an edit, at least I wasn't invisible on the show. Which, damn, that's so rough.
Shady. Yeah. Say is shady though.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely, 100%.
But all right, so going into next week, we have the majority alliance of David, Joe, Eva, Kyle, and Shaheen, and then we have these 4 of Camilla, or I guess, wait, what the hell? 5, Mary.
Mary's like with them. Mary's like 6.
Yeah, and then there's Mitch and Star, right? Oh, Chrissy,
Mitch, Star, and Camilla.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you guys, I feel like, I want to say Kyle and Camilla are finally going to make a move again. Okay. Here's my prediction. All right. Mm-hmm. I think Kyle and Camilla want to break up like the strong alliance somehow, but they still want to play the middle. And so I think they're going to target Mary. I think they're going to do exactly what David was doing. How David was wanting it to be Camilla and Kyle didn't want that. Now Kyle's going to be like, I want Mary, and David's not going to want that, you know? There's kind of like Mary and Camilla are both these like floaters around this like majority alliance, and they both are trying to like take out the other person's floater, you know?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I definitely think that like there's no way that David doesn't target Camilla. Like, I don't think David definitely seems to play more emotionally. And especially when Camilla called David out for bad jury management, I think there's no way that David doesn't target like Camilla. So I think that's going to happen no matter what. But I think there's going to be some kind of like rude awakening where I think the next episode, it's either going to be boring again or it's going to be a blindside. And I don't think there's any in between.
There's no in between. Yeah.
A David blindside would be so
I
good.
would be amazing. Yeah, I think also Camilla, I don't know. She's too like, not too, but she's very like vocal, and she's also like playing pretty well, but she, you know, I think she's a good target just because she's like kind of almost just too good, and she is like you can tell that she's thinking about stuff that she's not saying, which is like sketchy, you know?
I think one of the problems about why we haven't seen a flip yet is because Kyle is so almost like tunnel visioned on like, I need to get Shaheen out before he tries and flips on us. And it's like, dude, Shaheen is your like partner right now. You can use him to flip on the like majority alliance and then throw Shaheen under the bus as like the main conspirator against the majority alliance. Like this would be a perfect moment to go to Shaheen and be like, I don't like how David's kind of running everything. Like he's just like switching the vote and not like coming to us and asking if that's okay. Like let's get him out, and then we'll have this like we'll continue the remnants of the strong alliance, and that's how you pitch it. And then you get David out, and you're like, guys, Shaheen pitched this whole idea, he flipped on. Like that's, I don't know.
I think you can
this
also
is crazy, Ellis. Sorry, you go. I'm just like the strategy behind everything. Jesus, I would not want to be playing Survivor with Ellis. My God. It's like, you're right. I just didn't think about any of that before. Like, if you would just break it up and then like turn on everybody. Sorry, Michael, go.
Yeah, no, I agree. Especially, I feel like using the fact that Shaheen is a super fan. Like, I feel like it's easier to manipulate super fans in this game because it's like, hey, like, you know, you're playing this game that like you love. It's time to make a move.
It's time to make a move.
Like, you don't want to be one of those people who never make a move.
That
Yikes.
Liz from 46 had a strategy of targeting the people she thought was getting the most screen time. So she's like, we need to get Tevin out. He's being too entertaining.
I need more screen time. And then she's still got an invisible bit.
Yeah, Liz is so interesting. Anyways, that was a deep
Love Liz.
I forgot about Liz.
Right now.
She's a character. Yeah. Oh my God, her meltdown.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's a really good impression, Michael.
Thank you. I worked on it a lot.
Nice. Yeah.
No, so who do you guys think is gonna go home next? Because I'm kind of leaning towards. Okay, here's who I think it's going to become between like David and Kyle somehow. Like I think it's gonna end up because I don't think they trust each other anymore. Like I think that like facade is kind of breaking. I wish it was Joe because I think that'd be hilarious if Joe went home next, and just seeing how Eva reacts to that.
That's also that's a thing. Eva did get her. We don't know what her advantage is. And also, Michael, I think you were right. One that at first I thought she was going to get it before this tribal. But some people were wondering if they purposely gave it to Eva. Like it was like there was assigned seats at the feast, and it was purposely.
I think it had to be.
And I don't think it was a personal like towards Eva thing. I think it's just whoever won immunity. But it would have been cool if they put it on the immunity necklace and not like in their food. I don't know.
They love putting secrets in the food.
They do.
It's their go-to. Rachel and the fries became a huge thing.
Okay, that's interesting though. You think it's going to be between Kyle and David?
Yeah, I think because like from what we've seen, like we saw for the first time when like, or I guess not the first time, but Kyle, it was interesting. Kyle was more relaxed when he was targeted than when Camilla was targeted. Like, I don't know. It seemed like when Camilla was targeted, he kind of lost his shit. Like he was like, David, what the fuck's going on? Like, what is this? Like, it was just like, it was like covert operation blown. Like, everyone fucking knows that you're working with Camilla now. There's no one would have that strong of a reaction.
Chrissy had no idea in the interview, and she was like, you know, in hindsight, we were like, how did we not see this? Excuse me.
Yeah.
I was trying to finish my sentence without. Yeah.
Saved it. Yeah. But
I'm just I feel like it's gonna become a bro off between them where they're like, oh my god, no, like I'm like it's either that or they're gonna do the proxy idea where it's like Camilla versus Mary.
Mm-hmm. What are you gonna say, Molly?
Well, I do think I believe in the Camilla versus Mary thing. I think both those things make a lot of sense, but I'll get into that in a second. With David and Kyle or Kevin? It's Kyle, right?
Kyle, yeah.
Yes.
I'm getting
Kevin was the shoulder man.
David, I was gonna say he was a line. Yeah. With David and Kyle, like to Michael's point of like they're just gonna have a bro off. If I was in the game, I don't think those two personalities can like exist for a long time together. I would let them like go at it because hello, it takes me out of the equation. So I think that they're actually gonna stay a little bit longer. But I would love, oh my god, to see them blindside David. How good would that be? Just to be like, bye. Oh my god,
it's happening at some point. I don't know if it'll be next episode.
He's not winning. He's not winning. But I think that he's a pawn. Sorry, David. I do.
Honestly, maybe it would be even better than a David blindside is a David makes it to Final Tribal Council and doesn't get a single vote to win. That would be juicy.
I think that's more likely because they also like I may just be reading too much into the edit, but the comment about jury management I think is gonna come back to bite him, and I feel like the most poetic justice is making it to like he has this whole thing where he's like his whole thing has been like I just want to win immunity challenges. Like I don't think he understands how Survivor really is.
And it's like the strategists always win. Like it's time for the meatheads to win, and
what's his argument?
That's the funniest thing about
him getting all the way up there.
Yep, and then he's preaching his whole like idea of how the game works, but like the problem is, his whole thing is like it's based on like trust and integrity and how someone can win that way. But no matter what, you have this nucleus that's gonna have to disband at some point. You're gonna have to lie to somebody at some point. Like it, even if
which
you have
is why it's gonna get good.
Yeah. Okay, but Molly, what was you had the Mary and Camilla or something else?
Yeah, I did think Camilla, but now that we've been talking about it, I just think Camilla is like. I don't know. There's something about her where I'm like, she's going to say the wrong thing. She's going to slip and she's going to be like booted. I don't know that it's next episode necessarily, but the reason I do or don't think it's next episode is because I think they're either going to just take her out to be done with her, like whatever happens. But I think they're smarter than that. Maybe. And they might keep her in just to boot her later. But if they do, then I don't know who's going home. Maybe Mary. But again, either of them are both kind of nothing flashy.
Camilla and Kyle were kind of giving me Jeremy and Natalie Anderson vibes from Survivor San Juan del Sur, which is it's a crazy throwback. I don't know for the viewers watching. Some people may understand that, but Jeremy basically goes home at the beginning of the season, and then Natalie uses that as like she keeps a vendetta against like the David of that season, and finally like blindsides him eventually, and she goes on to win. So I do. That's why when I was watching this last episode, I'm almost like, Kyle, let Camilla get voted out. Like that might be better for you. And then you have this girl Chrissy who's like so ready to make a big move. Like you have Chrissy, you have all these people you can just throw under the bus, and like I don't know. But yeah, my final prediction's Mary. I think I kind of already gave my reason, the satellite, the floater theory. But you know, I know, Michael, you've been frustrated with this season so far, and I have as well. But I feel like this conversation is making me. I feel like they're building to something. You know, like you keep expecting.
It gotta be. I think it's. We gotta go through like the boring parts now, just like weeding out all the like middle people,
it's
just
the
so
tension.
we get. You know, like it's about. I feel like I'm not gonna say it, but it's about to hit the fan.
Whoa.
So.
Crazy.
All right. Well, we are. I don't exactly know the timing because I recorded before we started actually recording, but we're probably around the 30-minute mark, if not a little bit over. Do we have any final thoughts we want to add, or lay out any more hot takes? I don't know.
I think Mitch is gonna win the season. That's my hot take.
That is a hot
Mitch
take.
Would be such an awesome winner.
I don't think he. Well,
who would you want to win? Who would be your most satisfying winner?
I think. I don't want to say it. I think Joe, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I know. Because something about Joe and Eva, it's like I kind of can't wrap my head around the two of them. Like I'm worried something's gonna go down or they're gonna get targeted. Like they're just such a like duo, and I love them. Like I something about like I feel like wholesome stuff does not happen on Survivor. You know what I mean? Like to put it that bluntly. Like I don't know. I'm worried. I don't think he actually would. I don't even know how that would happen.
I think I want like a Kyle or a Shaheen or like a Camilla win with David at the final three next to them. Like I want like one of them, kind of the like opposite, like, you know, Kyle, Shaheen, and Camilla are all like very big strategy heavy people. They're thinking about the game. Like they're kind of the opposite spectrum of how David and Joe are approaching the game. And so I think it'd be so interesting to see those two sides kind of pitch their case at Final Tribal. So,
but what I'm worried about is, say it gets down to those, and we have the jury, like Joe, David, like they're not going to care.
Why
would David not be voting?
If he's in Final Tribal, he won't be a juror. He'll be a possible.
Oh. Oh yeah, in this situation where David. Okay, sure. Yeah, we'll put David in.
Put him in.
That's why I want to see him get to the end and then just not get a single vote. Maybe like from Joe or whoever is like the loyalty person. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's hard.
All right. Well, Michael, do you want to wrap us up here?
Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Let us know what your thoughts are on the past couple episodes and who you think is going to go home next. And thank you so much, Molly, for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. This has been so much fun. I'm so happy.
Of course.
This absolutely. You know, we had a long break, but we're back stronger than ever. We will be back next week and the week after that. Stay tuned.
Can't hold us back.
Stay tuned for the YouTube short. And yeah, thank you guys all for watching. Keep watching Survivor. Stay tuned. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.